Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and for today's video I am going to be doing the Stay at Home Reading Rush Tag and TBR. So if you weren't aware, the Reading Rush is a week-long readathon held during the summer, and it still will be, but the hosts of the readathon have decided that in the middle of April they are going to do an impromptu readathon to help encourage people to stay at home and also just kind of bring a sense of community, and I think that's really cool and I wanted to participate. So I asked you guys on my Instagram if you would be interested in seeing a TBR from me, and a majority of you said yes, so here we are. Also, they implemented a tag element, and so I thought that would be really fun to take part in, especially since this is kind of in lieu of the video challenges. There will still be Instagram challenges as well as book challenges, which we will get to when we talk about my TBR. And then there are going to be giveaways, and they have limited edition bookmarks. It's all in the video that Ariel did on the Reading Rush YouTube page, so I'll have that link down below in case you want any more information. But it's super cool and I'm really excited to be participating, so let's get started with the questions and then we'll start with my TBR. The first question of the tag is, how has your reading been going since you've been in self-isolation? So just to kind of preface, because I'm gonna mention this a couple of times throughout the video, I don't know when my self-isolation technically started because I got sick right before my state mandated self-isolation, quarantine, all of that, and right before the coronavirus got really bad. I just had a sinus infection, so I didn't have the virus, luckily, but I was kind of self-isolating already, not like, okay, I'm gonna stay home, but I just didn't want to go anywhere because I was sick. So I would go to class since I still had that, but other than that, I wasn't really leaving my house, and so it's kind of blurred a little bit. I've kind of been self-isolating a week longer than I feel like everybody else has. So I don't really know when it started, but since I'm gonna like group that in with my self-isolation time, so since that, my reading has been really great. I managed to read 21 books in the month of March, and in the month of April I've only read 3, but I'm in the middle of a bunch and I'm just like really enjoying it. I'm not forcing myself to pick them up. It's just like what I want to be doing. So to answer the question, my reading has been literally the best it's ever been, and it's just been really fun to have read a lot. I don't know. I've never read this much, so it feels kind of weird, but I'm loving it, so it's going great. The second question is, where have you been reading? And I have been reading kind of just all over my house. I will read in my bedroom, the guest bedroom, since I'm not staying in my room anymore because of the dog that peed on my bed. That's a whole thing. I've been reading on the couch. That's pretty much it, just like beds and the couch. I'm hoping to get a chair, like once this is all over, hopefully, for like right here to film and also read, just because like I find that super comfortable and nice to be able to switch up spots in my room. So when that happens, I'll have a chair here that I'll also be reading in, but yeah, the bed and my couch, which is such a boring answer, but once we get our deck furniture out, once like the weather clears up where I live, I mean it's nice out today, but it's been super finicky. Hopefully I'll be able to read outside too and get some sun. Number 3 is the best book you've read while in isolation, and like I said, I've read a bunch, and so this was really hard. I also kind of forgot like what I had read during self-isolation, and so since I've read so much, I have 2. The first one is Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I absolutely adored this book. This is a retelling of Achilles, and it's a love story between him and a guy named Patroclus, and it's absolutely everything. I loved this book. And the other one that I definitely had to pick was Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. I started the Shadowhunter Chronicles while I've been in self-isolation, and this is the best one so far, and I'm really excited. I'm currently in the middle of Clockwork Prince, and I'm absolutely loving that as well. But yes, The next question is favorite feel-good book, and I have a bunch of answers for this, but I decided to pick one that I don't really talk about that much on my channel, especially when it comes to like feel-good books, or at least I feel like I haven't talked about it recently. Not a lot anyway, and that is Heartstopper Volume 1 by Alice Oseman. Generally, the whole series. Volume 3 gets into a little bit more serious topics, but I still really loved it and found it to be feel good. So this is a love story between a boy named Nick and a boy named Charlie. It's absolutely freaking adorable. It's just so wholesome, and there is like some homophobia and some bullying, but for the most part it's just really sweet moments between Nick and Charlie, and I love it. So yes. Also, if you want like a feel-good book recommendations video, I can definitely do that, so let me know. I know I did an escapist book recommendations video, but if you want a feel-good one, let me know and that can be arranged. The next question is, what is a book that you wish you could buy/borrow from the library? So since most bookstores and libraries are closed right now and you can't really leave your house, you can't really go out and get books, and it sucks. So what is a book that I wish I could buy? I have a bunch in my Amazon cart that I'm honestly thinking about ordering. I think the top one that I really want to order is Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, just because, I don't know, I want to read it. But also in my Amazon cart at this current moment is Moonstruck Volume 1, Waiting for Spring Volume 12, even though I'm only on 10. Check Please Volume 2, I really want to read that. Question 6 is, who is an author that you want to shout out? And I really like this question, so I have a few. I really like Colleen Hoover, but I don't really think she needs a shout out. Katie Wismer, she has a new book coming out in June, so go mark it on Goodreads if it sounds interesting to you. It's called The Anti-Virginity Pact. She also has an amazing poetry collection, so I would highly recommend that. I'll have her booktube links down in the description if you want to check out her videos. There's an author that I recently followed on Bookstagram, and her username is SD Vital. I think I'm pronouncing that properly. So I don't know if that's what she's going to use as her pen name or not. So I'll have her Instagram listed down below as well. But she has a book that's coming out that sounds so interesting. I can't remember exactly when it comes out, but like I said, it sounds so interesting, sounds absolutely amazing, and I'm really excited to read that. And the last question brings us to my TBR, and that is, what is your stay home reading rush TBR? So there are 4 prompts because there are 4 days, April 16th through the 19th, and there's one for every day, and you can double up if you want to. There are really loose rules on this, which is really nice. So the first prompt is to read a book with a house on the cover. For this one, I'm going to be cheating just a little bit, and I'm going to be reading House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. This doesn't have a house on it, but it has the word house on it, and so I feel like that counts. This is on my Owls TBR, and so I wanted to incorporate as much of that as I possibly could in this TBR, so I want to get started with this, and I feel like that would be a good time to encourage me to pick it up. This is a 12 Dancing Princesses retelling, but it's kind of like a fantasy thriller, and so it sounds really interesting, and it fits this prompt. The next prompt is stay in the room the whole time while you read this book, and for that I have Waiting for Spring Volume 10, because it's a manga, it's super short, and this was also, or I don't know that this was on my TBR, but I want to read it. I want to hopefully finish this series off, at least what I have of it, during this time of quarantine. So I have 2 more volumes. I have this one in volume 11, obviously, and so I figured this would just be a good pick for that because I could read it in like an hour. The next prompt is to read a book that takes place somewhere you wish you could go, and for that I have Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This is a book about a boy named Laszlo Strange who is a librarian and is obsessed with the lost city of Weep, and one day this envoy, or is it called an envoy? I don't know, this group of people, they invite Laszlo to come with him. He says yes, obviously, because he has wanted to go to this city his entire life, and so I don't know that I'll necessarily want to go to wherever Weep is or whatever it is, but it's a really lush fantasy, and honestly that sounds better than just staying at my house, so I'm gonna use this one. Don't know that I'll necessarily finish it, don't know that I'll necessarily finish it within the next, or within the 4 days of this, but I want to at least make some progress in it, so this was the only thing that I could really think of for this challenge. And the last prompt is to read a book that you think will make you happy, and for that I have Lucky Caller by Emma Mills. This is a young adult contemporary, and there is a podcast element. Other than that, I have no idea what this is about, but the fact that it's a contemporary and there's a podcast element just makes me really excited, and so I feel like it will make me really happy and it will just be a sweet little romance, so that's what I've chosen for this prompt. I hope that you're all staying home and staying healthy. I really hope that you're all doing well, reading, mentally, and otherwise, and I really hope to see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.